We need to have a conversation about whether or not it's okay if a friend or even a former friend dates your ex. Is that okay? Or is that breaking girl code or guy code? Hi, my name is Dr. Natalie Jones. I am a licensed therapist. I've been counseling women and men who have experienced abuse as well as those who are perpetrators of abuse and other violent crimes. One of the things that comes up frequently is whether or not someone is, whether or not it's okay for one of your friends or former friends to date an ex. There are a lot of people who are on both sides. One, I'm not okay with it. Two, go ahead, be blessed. I would have to say over my years, I think there's more people on the side of it that are not okay with it, um, that may say that they're okay, but when they see it, it's like, oh, they begin to think to themselves, oh, you guys have been plotting this the whole time. Like, how's this going on? Or you couldn't find somebody anywhere else outside of my ex partner, that sort of thing. Many a friend, many a family member has been betrayed by people close to them, connecting with their ex, sleeping with their ex, having a child with their ex, or maybe even making a move before they were broken up. I'm 46 years old now. And so, I remember, just as a little aside, I remember when I had a girlfriend that was, what I thought was a girlfriend that was trying to push up on a guy that I was seeing at the time. And the two of them seemed like they were teetering on the side, where they might have been trying to foster something. They certainly wanted to garner a reaction from me. And at the time, I was a little upset about it. Knowing what I know now and going through life now, I wouldn't care if she took him off my hands. I would be of the belief that the two of them deserve each other because, again, time and again, history has proven itself. How you get them is how you're going to lose them, you know and so I don't believe in infidelity. I also don't believe in dating friends or former friends exes, because I do feel like the world has a lot of people out there, and it's just not my thing. But I know, as another little aside, this kind of stuff is fairly common. And another little short story I'll share with you about my grandma. When I was she's long gone now. And, boy, back in the old days, folks used to really go through something. And I remember my grandmother was telling me about how, the man that she's married to, which was my grandfather, who's also gone, had an affair with her sister. And one of her children walked in on it. And just how, upsetting that was. And, my grandmother had a lot of children, in the double digits. And so she talked about how upsetting that was. And, back in those old days, you couldn't leave your partner, or was heavily frowned upon leaving your partner. So what she did was she starved him out. She talked about starving my grandfather out, meaning that, he's no longer allowed to sleep with her in the bedroom, and she also doesn't feed him anymore. So she's not cooking for him anymore. If you want to run the streets and do all this and that there, then, you need to figure out how to eat. Me and my kids will eat, but I'm not like cooking, and I'm not doing like wifely things for you anymore. You could stay here in the home, but you got to stay in another room. And that's kind of how they lived out their days. And she gave me a lot of details, and I was like, wow, man, that's, to me, that takes a lot of strength to be able to, look at somebody like that. And yeah, I don't know, just to live with somebody and even have to see them day in and day out, your sister and your husband. That's an interesting type of betrayal, to say the least. But, you know, there I do think that there should be a line. While I don't care about my exes that much, I do think also too that there is a line that people like, why would you consider crossing that? Why is that an option for you? You know, what is that about? But I'm curious to know your thoughts. Does girl code or guy code apply when you when it comes to your ex-partner, and why or why not? You know, and for me, you know, there's a good chance that if a friend is sleeping with my ex, we're probably, or, you know, by that time that they're doing that, they're probably already former friends. Same also holds true for family members. If they found themselves in that sort of situations, I probably no longer see them as family members. So I kind of keep my distance, and, you know, it is what it is as far as that goes. Hope that helps. Let me know what you guys think.